right? The long term, I just added current and growth in the future. Will?
Defer to Fred.
Fred?
Okay, I'm just going to, there's
Say
so
it.
much information. We don't know if the aquifer can't supply enough. I mean, personally, when I look at this, and it's not personal, it's totally professional, it's kind of, basically at the end of the day, I know there's, we need 3,600 cubic meters a day for OCP build-up. There's the potential for 3,775 cubic meters within the district right now. So there's that. We know we can actually get that. There's other people out there drilling wells besides us. Developers have them. A lot of it's indication of can we drop our standards. That's a big part of what we need to look at.
Use the word adjust.
Well, no, I'm being honest.
No, but it's
yeah, okay, adjust.
the problem is, and same with the word downgraded, it implies a negative, and it could just be clarification.
Okay.
Okay. To adjust. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. The way we can actually go about doing this, and John, this is where we're going to come into alignment, I think. I didn't put my numbers up there for the agreement, for the water agreement to go tie into the NIMO. It's to have that backup. That's my big key. If we're going to start taxing this aquifer or the well field, we need something that if something happens to it, we need a backup. That's my whole reason to get that in line, to work on that, to get that thing set up. The opinion of Dennis Loman in this report, basically it came up with 24-24. That's for the well field, that's not for the aquifer. Okay, I followed up on that, and that's what it is. Basically what we can do from there is put into that 24-24, extract that, look at it over a year.
Develop our margin of safety.
Yeah, and then look at, because I can tell you right down to the last centimeter of what that aquifer is doing.
Right.
So we maintain that for a year, look at it, and if there's room for improvement, then we look at redeveloping another well or putting another well in at some point. But to just go out and tax the system as much as possible, that's probably not a good idea. You're going to actually end up depleting the aquifer. So I think over the long term, a part of this, our long-term plan for the water system is to implement the 24-24, look at adjusting the actual demand side of things. And, I mean, we use 3,400 liters per day, which is extreme when we look at our maximum day demand of 1,600 liters per day. So there's room for adjustment. So we should be looking at that.
See, we haven't had these conversations.
And
No,
this is the first opportunity.
No, to be fair, staff hasn't been given the opportunity to have.
No, and it's both ways, absolutely.
And that's why it's so frustrating is that we don't actually converse on this stuff so you know where staff is. And we can't talk about a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff is still being dealt with.
Okay. So, all more reason for committee of the whole. Remember, committee of the whole for 3 reasons: emerging strategy, new stuff we talk about, current stuff that's working in progress, keep up to date, and then sharing information. So back to this one, we have said that we got some studies, right? Now, some studies need to be completed before you do this.
No, these studies are all
Oh, good. Okay. So there's already some data that will help us, and we need to complement it to confirm present and future needs. Okay, OCP build out of current. We look at our current capacity, right, whatever it is, high risk, low risk, redundancy, all those kind of things that you mentioned. And then we have a range of options: short term, long term, supply, conservation, right, meters, like it's all there. Meters, right, that came up and stuff. And then there'll be a strategy. Once you have the strategy, then you will go out to the public, right, and start now figuring out how to pay for it, who pays for it, etc. So step 1 is for this council in this term to say we have a water management strategy for the future, for the present and future needs of Lansdale. Is that kind of where we're at? Okay. Now, yeah, sorry.
The water master plan.
Yeah, water master plan, which will result hopefully. I always differentiate between the plan and a strategy, like the plan, right? And then you'll actually get the implementation strategy down
It
here,
should be in the plan somewhere.
which then will feed your infrastructure and your reserve.